Your world is waiting, but first you have to access it. Welcome to the Joshua Roy Show. We don't do fluff, we do freedom. Real talk on mindset, cutting edge coaching techniques, and the hidden frameworks for lasting change. If you're ready to move from being stuck to becoming the architect of your life, you're ready for this. Hit subscribe. Let's get to work.
This is where we work out that this is real. That people, when they start delving into NLP tools and practices, they actually start producing results. And it's the results that we want. We don't want just some euphoric idea that sounds good, but that doesn't yield fruit. You know, if we want to know what sort of fruit tree it is, and we go to an apple tree, the way you know it's an apple tree is because there's apples sitting on that tree. If you see an orange tree, same thing. You know it's an orange tree because of the oranges, because of the fruit it bears. And that's how we can know that a process works or a set of tools work, because of the fruit that it bears. If there's no fruit, then what good's the fruit tree? Might as well just chop it down and burn it up, get rid of it. It's not going to serve any purpose. But if it's a good tree, it's going to produce fruit. We're going to get results from doing the processes. And that's what we focus on. And that's what I focus on, is results. I like the ideas and I like the psychology, but what I really love is when people get results and they transform. They feel it. The pain leaves their body, for example. That's what we want. I'll tell you a couple of stories as we get into today's session. One story is about a woman who had a frozen shoulder. And I was on a Zoom event like this one, and I asked the woman to raise her arm as high as she could. And she raised it to about, you could say what would that be, a 45-degree angle? If that's the 90-degree, that's straight up 180 degrees, it's about a 45-degree angle. And I said, can you raise it any further? She said, no, that's it. That's full motion. I said, okay, let's do an exercise. And I did a little exercise with her that took about 5 minutes. And it was a little exercise using the mind and using the power of the mind. And after this exercise, I said, lift your hand. And she lifted her hand straight up over her head. And she was shocked. She was surprised. Well, I wasn't. Actually, I am. I'm still shocked that it keeps working. But I've used this technique now hundreds of times, maybe going towards thousands. It's really been a technique that I got hold of around about probably 6 to 7 years ago. It was 2016 where I first saw it. And I was shocked by it. I thought it was amazing. I thought this technique is incredible. The whole world needs to know about it. It's insanely good. And so I started using it everywhere. And I started using it with people that had, back pain, knee pain, leg pain. And then I started using it with emotional pain. And I discovered this. I discovered that to your unconscious mind, it doesn't matter if it's physical pain or emotional pain. To the unconscious mind, it's exactly the same. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to start with a demonstration. I'd like to get somebody who's willing, who's got some pain in their body, somebody that I've probably never met before, that wants to just experiment with me. And let's just say, well, does this work? Is there any merit to it? So who'd like to work with me? Just raise your hand if you'd like to work with me. If there's pain in your body, this could be physical pain or emotional pain, and it's in your body, and it's creating a situation where you're not enjoying life the way that you could. Look at that, I got 4 hands there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask a couple of you some questions. Now, Anne was first, so we're going to go to Anne first. Anne, could you unmute yourself?
Sure, did it.
Hey, Anne, how are you
I
today?
can put my camera on if you want it on.
It'll be nice with your camera on. And actually, the process will work a little bit better. Well, the process won't work better, but people will see it working better.
Okay.
And that's why the camera is valuable, because I want people to experience this and to see it. And what we're going to look for, just so long as you're not camera shy, and I'm glad you put your hand up, is we're going to look for changes in your face, in your expression. We're going to look for what's happening in your body. So some people, when we go through these processes, they break out in a sweat. Some people just feel this sense of change just wash over their body. It's incredible how it works. So what I'd like you to do for me is stand up. You were standing up a moment ago. That's perfect. And tell us what's happening with you? Where's the pain located, and what's going on?
So I have
Closer
chronic
while you're
Lyme disease.
chatting, and then stand up when we do.
So I have chronic Lyme disease, and I was in, I think about 7 years ago now. I was in 3 car accidents in a amount of time of 5 months,
Right.
and one straight back, one to the left, one to the right. So my
Wow.
lower back has never really been the same since then. And because of the Lyme disease, I have hypermobility in my lower back.
Yep.
And couple that with Lyme disease and stress, it often flares up.
Okay, so Anne, can you show us the mobility of your back currently? Like, what mobility do you have?
Well, that's the thing. With Lyme disease, I have a lot of mobility, but it hurts when I do it.
Okay, so
So
show us,
I bend over. I can bend all
when
the
the
way.
pain really starts,
Yeah, it starts hurting at this point.
right?
I
If
can
you go
go all
further, you can do it, but it's really, really painful. What level of pain are you experiencing, 0 to 10, when you do that?
about a 6
About a
today.
6 out of 10. So it's pretty severe. And how long has this been a problem for you?
Years.
Okay. So years, when you say years, how many years?
7 acutely for the back and like 26 for Lyme disease.
Right, right. Okay. And what would your doctor say if we were to get rid of that pain for you in your lower back? What would your doctor say?
He'd be, he'd be great. He'd be happy.
Now, the other thing I want to know is there anything structurally wrong with your back? So when you think about your back and that back pain, you see, pain serves a purpose. I'm not going to go into it in this webinar. I don't really have time, but pain corrects, protects, and unifies. There's a whole series of, there's a whole lecture that I do around that. Pain has 3 purposes: protects, corrects, and unifies. So when you think about your pain, is it correcting something? Is it protecting you from something? Or is there something about the pain that's trying to bring your system into harmony? Is that pain serving a purpose?
I think it has something to do with um, energetically my sacral chakra and childhood molestation.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think.
So Ian, thanks for being brutally honest. I know it's not easy to talk about these things. So you're obviously a very open person, and I appreciate that about you. So there's some childhood trauma that you've gone through. There's been trauma throughout your life. You've been involved in 3 car accidents. What did you say? One from the front or one from the back, was it? And both sides.
Yeah, back and
That's
both sides.
ridiculous. And that was in a period of what, 6 months or 8 months?
5 months.
5 months. Wow. All right. So Ian, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little exercise now to alleviate this pressure, this pain in your back. So once again, show us where the pain starts. So once more, just go down and just as soon as the pain starts, and then stop,
Here.
and then come back up again. So what I want you to do, and I call this point and click therapy. So the first thing you want to do is take your finger and point to where the pain is. So point to where the pain is. And now, in order to get your unconscious mind working with you and for you, we need to imagine that there's a color associated to that pain. Just in your mind, what's the first impression? What color would it be? First impression?
Red.
Red. Now imagine grabbing that red energy and pulling it out of your back. Just imagine that. You're pulling the energy out of your back and hold it like a ball in front of you. So just imagine reaching in, grabbing all that red energy, pulling it out, and use your hands to do it. What you're doing there, Anne, is beautiful. You're using your hands, reach around to your back, pull it to the front, and pull that energy out. Now, Anne, did you get it all?
No.
Double check. Have another look. Have another look around your back, around your spine, because this stuff hides. It'll hide to bones. It'll hide to sinews and joints. It'll hide anywhere it can. It'll hide in cartilage. It'll hide anywhere it can. So you need to make sure you get all of that red energy that's trying to hide itself from you. And I like this. Notice how she's pulling it from the upper back as well. So we're now moving throughout the whole back. And that's good. Okay, Anne, did you get it all?
Nope.
Oh, okay, keep going. Now, some people can pull for a couple of minutes, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Now, notice now, I'm speaking to Anne in a way that the nervous system can understand what's happening. We're getting nervous system involvement here. It's no good just, Anne, to think about these things. We want the body involved, and that's why we do movements. Now, Anne, did you get it all now?
I think so.
You think so? Don't think so. You've got to go back and have another look, have another check.
Okay.
So what I'm looking for is a definitive yes. That's what we're looking for. We need to make sure we've got it all. And I notice Lene is up there pulling some energy out of her back as well. So Lene's following good work. I can see that. And there could be some other people doing it as well for themselves. And that's okay. That's good. You can put yourself through this process also. And let me know when you've got it all.
Ready.
You're ready. Excellent. Now look at that energy, Anne, and notice, is it still red or did it change color? First impression.
Orange.
It's orange now, so it's changed. That's interesting. So now, as you look at this orange ball of energy, I want you to notice something, that it's actually spinning in a direction. Now, it could be spinning front, backwards, side, one way or the other. Which way is it spinning? Show me with your hands the direction it's spinning. It's spinning forward. Okay. Now grab that energy and spin it backwards. We want to change the motion. So double the speed, double the spin, double the amplitude, double the magnitude, double the force, double it now. And so it's going so fast that it begins to take on a life of its own. And it's impossible to go back the way it was. And when you know you've got it, and when it's impossible to go back the way it was, it's taken a life of its own, grab that energy and shove it into your back. Whoosh. And feel the change, feel the shift, feel the sensation. With every breath that you take, with every beat of your heart, just allow that new message, that new signal that you've created to go deep into your unconscious mind so that your nervous system can be reprogrammed here, now, and forever. And notice the change as it shifts over you. Notice the reprogramming. What we're doing here is we're upgrading. It's like taking Windows 10 off your computer and upgrading it to Windows 11. It's like upgrading your phone. We're just working with the nervous system of the body to create an upgrade. Wonderful. Anne, how do you feel?
My neck is a lot looser.
Okay, now I want you to bend over and tell us when the pain starts.
There's a little tightness, but there's not the same pain. There's
Wonderful.
not.
So well done, Anne.
Yeah, thank you.
How's that? Is that quite amazing?
It is quite amazing.
When I saw this for the first time, it blew my mind. And I was like, this is incredible. You see, our body is like, it's like a computer program. And all we just did was we worked with the unconscious mind to put a new program in. So we took out the old program, we redesigned it, and then we put the program back in. We put in a new program. And now that you've got that new program in, now you've got a new program working in your system.
That's great.
Isn't that incredible? I just thought it's like, because your body, like, think about it. Our mind is like a computer. Well, really, it's the other way around. Computers are like us because we came first. And the same way that we can augment or manipulate the way computers function, we can change the code, for example, of different things. We can do that with our own body, with our own nervous system. And that's what we've done. We've just given you a new code around your lower back. So how's that? She looks happy. So who saw that? Who noticed the change? Just thumbs up, hands up, right? Yes in the comments. Any messages you'd like to give for Anne for being such a wonderful example of this or demonstration? And Anne, just so you're all aware, Anne and I have not met before. Is that right, Anne? So
That's correct.
I don't know Anne from a bar of soap. We've never met before. So this is the first time we've ever met. So wonderful, Anne. Thank you for zooming in. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Josh, I missed it. So I don't know if I missed it. Anything more? It's changing direction of the energy.
So I'm going to do this again, Ryan. So
Okay.
you'll get it
All right. Thank you.
second time. So the idea is, Ryan, here's what you want to not do. You want to get away from two conditions. One is hypnotist disease and one is smart person syndrome. The hypnotist disease is where you're trying to learn the process the first time you see it. And so you miss out on the beauty of the process sometimes because you're trying to learn it. You're like, man, this is so good. I want to learn this. I want to use this. This could be life-changing for people that I know, right? We're all like this. So the first thing you want to do is, especially when I'm doing the process with you, you got to make sure that you push that aside and you get yourself fully present in the situation. And you can even do that as observer, be fully present. The next thing you want to look at is smart person syndrome. And that's where you're analyzing it. You're stepping aside and you're asking questions about, well, why does this work? Why is this? Do they know each other? You're asking all these questions that obviously come up in your mind where you're trying to understand it. You're trying to fully comprehend what you've just seen. And when a miracle happens, a miracle is something that we cannot explain by science. It just happens. And I would consider some of this to be miraculous. It's like a miracle. But I do understand how it works because I have studied the science. There are people now in the personal development world who are not only relying upon the power of the mind, but they're also getting the scientific evidence to back up what they've already known. Like there's things that they know and they do that work, but they don't. 20, 30 years ago, they never had the scientific evidence. We didn't know what we know today about neuroplasticity, for example. Today, we know much more. And so today we do have science to back all this up, more so than we've ever had before. So I'm going to demonstrate it again. So you'll get to see it again, Ryan. All good?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So let's go to my next victim. All right. So I've got Mel here. Victim or participant. So Mel, I'm going to unmute you. And look, I could do a different process now. There's about 8 or 10 different ones that I do, but I'm going to go do the same process again. Okay, because once you understand how it works, you can start making up processes. And that's kind of the area that I'm delving into now, whereas I just experiment and find out what works, what doesn't, and go from there. And this is one that I know works extremely well. So Mel, how are you?
I'm okay.
And where are you from, Mel?
From Virginia in the US.
Wonderful, wonderful. Nice to have you here from Virginia. Mel, what's happening with you at the moment?
Right now, the thing that's bothering me the most is like this brain fog with this
Right.
pressure and pain up here in my head.
So how much pressure and pain do you have right now, 0 to 10?
I would say it's 8 or 9.
Right. So it's high up there. And what could you do in your life if that was a 0? If that was gone, what could you accomplish in your day, in your world, in your life?
Oh, I feel like everything, like even simple tasks, like, thinking about what am I going to eat? It's difficult when you kind of have all of this going on, or just even, thinking about, tasks at work or whatever. It's very difficult to do anything.
And tell me, Mel, how long has it been a problem for you in your life?
The brain fog with this pain has gotten worse, I would say, in the last 4 years.
Okay. So the last 4 years has gotten worse. And is it something that's consistent? Like, is it there every day or does it come and go?
It's there every day at some level, but it gets worse.
Right.
At times, yeah.
Right. And would it be okay to get rid of it? Like, for example, is there any, and this is a psychology term, is there any secondary gain that comes from having brain fog? Like, are you someone who uses it, say, as an excuse? Are you someone who relies upon that, it gets you out of uncomfortable situations? You say, oh, I can't go to the activity because I've got too much on, or, I'm not feeling well.
No, I feel like it's holding me back from everything I want to do.
Right. Right. So you feel like you could be more active and more social if it wasn't there.
Yes.
And what would your doctor say if we said, we're going to get rid of it? We're going to get rid of the brain fog. What's the doctor going to say to that?
They would say they probably don't believe that you could do it.
So, but they don't believe it. Well, that'll be the first thing they say. But if it was true and you could get rid of it, what would they then say?
They would say, go do it.
Go do it. Okay, wonderful. So if that's the case, then why don't we go ahead and do this process? Now, just for everybody who's listening, the reason I'm going down this line of questioning is I want to find out, one, the intensity of it, how bad it is, perhaps how long it's been there for, and a few other questions about it. And what I'm specifically looking for here is, you notice I asked about secondary gain. Some people have problems in their life diseases, issues in their life because it gives them an excuse. If you've ever heard of the scapegoat, we can use our self-sabotage as a scapegoat in our lives. And I teach this more in my self-sabotage course. But for today, let's just go ahead with Mel. So Mel, I can hear from her answers and responses, she's ready to change. That you will, in fact, I'll ask Mel, Mel, are you ready to change? 0 to 10, how ready are you to change and get rid of the brain fog? 0 is I'm
10.
not ready. 10 is I'm completely ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready? Okay, good.
I'm ready.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. So I want you to point to where the brain fog, the pressure is. Just point to where that is with your finger.
Where's my finger?
Just with your finger. Fine. Okay, so it's the front. All right, good. Now notice as you're looking at it that there's a color attached. What color is it first impression?
I'd say like a navy.
Now, one thing I didn't ask was you said that it comes and goes and it's around about an 8 or a 9. What is it at the moment? How much is it right now?
It's
0 to 10.
it's like a 8 or a 9.
An 8 or so it's pretty severe
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
Okay. So did you say it was a navy blue, was it?
Yes.
Okay, so reach in and grab that energy, that navy blue energy, and pull it out. And just keep pulling till you get every little ounce, every little bit of it. So just keep pulling both hands. You can use this and both if you can. That's it. Using both hands, you get it out faster. And just keep pulling till you get all of that energy out, all of that navy blue energy. Now, there's a few things that we're doing. There's a few prerequisites, and I do these naturally just in my delivering of this process. But the first thing we want to do is want to get a person fully absorbed in the process. So they want to make sure that they're focused and fully absorbed. And when I ask them to do this with their hands, that helps them to absorb in the process. So we're creating that full absorption right now. The other thing that I ask people to do is have fun with it. So Mel, if you can, put a smile on your face as you're doing this, because just imagine that you're having fun. This is actually fun to do this. And the first prerequisite is play pretend. If you do those 3 things, you don't even have to believe it's going to work. So is there a few doubters here? Just give me a yes in the comments if you're someone who doubts this. If you're someone who goes, yeah, I don't know. If you're a doubter, if you're doubting Thomas, you have to see it to believe it. You have to experience it to believe it. So is there anyone here like this? I know there's some of you there because I was a bit like this, but if you're very skeptical and you think to yourself, it sounds too easy, it sounds too good to be true, then be honest about that. All right, so notice Mel is still pulling. So obviously it's been there for a while. There's a lot there. We're getting all of that navy blue energy out. Okay, so Lene, and that's an interesting one. This is what people sometimes say. I know it will work, but will it work for me? Like you might see it 3 or 4 or 5 times on other people and go, oh yeah, it works for them, but it won't work for me. So that's where I can assure you, don't even have to believe it. You don't have to believe it. All you need to do is do the process. You see, as Mel's pulling that energy out, she's activating the nervous system. And the nervous system overrides your psychology. Think about this. Physiology overrides psychology. That's a truth. So when you do it physically, it's as if you're actually doing it for real. It's as if she's really doing it because physiology overrides psychology. So whether you believe it or not doesn't matter. Whether you believe it cognitively doesn't matter because it's your unconscious mind we're working with. Mel, you've stopped pulling. Have you got it all?
I think so.
Okay, don't think so. Have another look. Have another look around because this stuff sticks. It'll stick to the inside skull. It'll stick to the brain. It'll stick anywhere it can. It'll stick to the forehead, to the skin, even to your eyebrows. It'll stick anywhere it can. Now, notice what I'm doing is I'm asking Mel to fully absorb. And when I say to double check, that's just getting her deeper into it. She's absorbing herself in the experience even more deeply. And that produces better results. So remember, play, pretend, full absorption, have fun. They're the 3 prerequisites. And mind you, I teach all of this in an upcoming course. I'll teach you how to do what I'm doing today. So if you'd like to learn how to do this, and not just this technique, but others, then you can sign up for that course. So Mel, tell me, how are you going now? Did you get it all?
Yes.
Excellent. Now notice, look at that energy. It's like a ball in front of you. Just look at that energy and notice, is it still navy blue or did it change color?
Maybe it's a little bit lighter,
Okay, so
but
it's
it's
still a
still
blue, but it's a
blue.
lighter blue. Okay, that's interesting. Now, grab that energy and notice actually as you look at it, which way is it spinning? Which way is it turning? Forward, back, left, right, which way?
Turning to the left.
Right, so what we're going to do is turn it to the right. So grab it and spin it in the opposite direction. And double the speed, double the spin, double the amplitude, double the magnitude, double the force, double it, double it, double it. So it's going so fast, it begins to take on a life of its own. And Mel, as you're spinning it, it's impossible for it to turn back the way it was. There's no way it could return back the way it was. It can't return to its original shape, its original form ever again. And when you know you've got it, and it's impossible for it to go back the way it was, grab that energy now and shove it back into your head where it came from. Whoosh. And just allow that new message, that new signal to move all throughout your mind, all throughout your body with every breath, with every heartbeat. Just allow your unconscious mind and even your nervous system to grab hold of the new signal, the new message, and feel the shift and feel the change. And just let that integration occur. And when you're ready, just let us know of any result that you're feeling.
I feel like the energy is definitely like I guess I can say like lighter and like all of it is gone from here, but I just feel like a little bit still like right there, but the rest it's just gone.
Wonderful. And so 0 to 10, where would you say it is now?
I would say maybe a 3.
Okay, so we've gone from 8 to 3. Now that's a big shift. That's a nice shift. And we could leave it there, but 3's not the answer for me. 3's never my end goal. You know what my end goal is, Mel?
0.
0. 0. I'm the person that goes for 0. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to point to that other side, that stubborn side that didn't want to change. So go and point to that. Now reach out with your other hand and imagine you're touching a picture. Like you see this big picture on the wall behind me? Imagine it's a picture like that that represents that pain. Have you got it? Now trace the edges of the picture so I know how big it is. Is it a little picture or a big picture? How big is it? Trace it with both hands. So you can let go with the other hand. Trace with both hands. It's that big. Wonderful. Now grab the edges of that picture, Mel. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to make it twice as big. So zoom it out. And notice what happens in your mind. Notice what happens to the pain. And now shrink it down like a little postage stamp. So shrink it down really small. Which one do you like better, the big one or the small one? Which one feels better?
I felt like the big one felt better.
Okay, open it back up again. Make it the big one. Make it the big one. Now this time I want you to throw your arms open like it's an IMAX cinema. Do you know what an IMAX cinema is? One of those big cinemas that spreads around. So make it that big. So make it, so flick out your hands and make it big like an IMAX cinema.
Okay.
And notice the pressure in your head. What's happened now? Where are we at now? 0 to 10.
It got like, it went down to maybe like a 1.
Wonderful,
like
wonderful.
smaller.
Now imagine that there's, what's your favorite car? Car that you like to drive or a car that you'd like to own?
Probably a Mercedes.
A Mercedes. So imagine there's 4 Mercedes. And I want you to imagine, get that big screen, that big IMAX screen, and lie it down flat. And I want you to imagine now that we're tying a Mercedes onto each corner of that big screen. So tie a Mercedes on each. What's your favorite color? Mercedes.
Blue.
Blue. Okay, blue. Okay, so it's a blue Mercedes on each corner. And when I click my fingers, I want you to imagine those Mercedes driving off and stretching that picture bigger and bigger and bigger. Ready? And go. And just imagine they're driving off. in the distance, one in each direction, and just imagine that picture getting bigger and bigger until it spreads all over the state you're in. And just imagine driving further and further so it spreads all over the country. And now you got 2 on the East Coast, 2 on the West Coast, different directions. And the whole of the USA is now covered in this big, big canvas that represents what's going on in your mind. And tell me what's happening now.
It's gone. Like it feels good.
Wonderful.
I guess as the cars were stretching, it felt good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Mel, virtual high five. Well done. So Mel, have we met before? Have you ever met me before?
No, this is my first time here.
Have you ever come to one of these
Never met
courses
you.
before?
No.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well done. So that's it, Mel, you're
Thank
done.
you.
You're very welcome. All right, who else we got? Todd.
Hello.
Todd, how you doing?
Doing all right, thank you.
That's great. So how are you today? And what's going on in your mind or body?
I'm doing okay overall. I have a few conditions, a meniscus tear
Okay.
in my right knee, had surgery a few years ago.
Yep.
That persists, and I could tell my body still struggles to compensate for that.
Yep.
That's ongoing. So that's something, it's an ongoing part of my life, something I often have in my mind, as well as a chronic issue with ear ringing, so tinnitus, and
Yeah.
what's probably more, and additionally, what would be considered Meniere's disease. So yeah, that's why I've got these behind me. So when the leaf blower is going on, I've got these industrial strength earmuffs. So it's very interesting to see the things we take for granted, when even the issue with my hearing can be triggered by wearing AirPods in my ear for
Right.
a little too long. So those are a couple conditions that are ongoing and problematic for me.
All right. So Todd, what we've got, let's go to the knee, because that'll be something that we can sort of deal. Now, these other things, they are conditions, and what we're going to realize is that pain serves a purpose. And obviously, if you've done something physically to your leg, you've had a meniscal tear or whatever it is in the side of the knee. I don't know if I said that right. But when you've had an injury like that, and even when the injury's been healed, there may need to still be an ongoing level of support needed for that joint and that leg. And one thing that I ask people is, like, I can certainly help you get rid of pain, but then you've got to do your part. What I mean by that is, if I was to heal, or like get somebody to let go of all the pain, and then they went out and went for a 10-kilometer run, well, that's probably going to aggravate whatever existing injury still exists in that area, in that location. And I'll give you an example of this. There was one man that I worked with that had gout in his legs, and I got rid of all the pain, helped him get rid of the numbness. So we did the pain with the first exercise, got rid of the numbness with the second, and then he went for a 2-kilometer walk. Now, he hadn't barely walked from his sofa where he was sleeping to the bathroom. That was the only walk that he'd been doing. And suddenly he now went for a big long walk, and he wound up in hospital the next day. So we're going to realize and be realistic about the fact that we can certainly get rid of pain, but that doesn't mean that you overdo it, because pain does serve a purpose, that there's a reason for it. And we don't want to just ignore that reason. So I can help you get rid of pain in your knee, but you still need to take active care to ensure that you don't overdo that leg and aggravate it, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? So if we get rid of the pain, are you going to go on a marathon run?
No, and that's something that I've a lesson learned in my middle years of
Yes.
in learning the importance of simultaneously doing the good while avoiding the bad.
Yes. Yeah. So if you get an injury, like I did it the other day, I'm training currently tied for my black belt in karate, and I was doing some kicks, and I felt like something go twang in my leg. I did a front kick. I was doing it head height, so I'm really stretching myself. And I was doing about 1,000 kicks for the day, sort of thing. That was kind of what I was doing. Some days I do 1,600, but I was doing these kicks, and I felt that, and I stopped immediately. Now, why did I stop immediately?
Because I'm assuming you felt some pain or some
Well, there's something
tenderness.
there that said, "Oh, this isn't good." There was a little bit of pain. It wasn't a great deal of pain. I could have pushed through the pain. Why don't you think I pushed through? Why wouldn't I push through that sort of pain?
Why didn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't I push through that sort of pain?
Uh, Probably because you recognized the significance of the voice within you that was reminding you to slow down and take it easy.
Correct, correct. So there's two types of pain. There's a muscle soreness pain, or a muscle stiffness, or a tightening of the muscles after exercising, and we call that a good pain. There's even the stretching of the lungs when you're breathing, and there's a bit of pain that comes. That's all good pain. But when it comes to an injury, we've got to be careful and recognize the difference between an injury and a hurt muscle, because we're growing it. Because think about it, when you do weightlifting, you tear all of the muscles, you rip them wide open. And then what happens is after the tear comes the rebuild, and that's what creates the growth. So you're actually doing these micro tears all through your muscles. So growing muscles or getting strength, it's painful. It hurts. But we've got to learn the difference between there's a good pain and there's a not so good pain. And one pain says, yeah, keep going, you can push through. The other pain says, stop. Administer aftercare. My son sprained his ankle on the weekend, and immediately I went and got ice on it. And I said, 20 minutes ice, 20 minutes compress and elevate. Back to 20 minutes ice. And we did this 3 times. As a result, next day he was up walking around.
Mhm.
Now he could only do that because of the aftercare, because we did, and certainly I did the spinning technique as well, and they helped it. And it was interesting. I did the spinning technique with him. You could see the swelling reduce in real time. Like it's reduced in a matter of seconds. It was incredible. Then we're able to bandage it and do whatever we needed to do. But aftercare is really essential. So it's recognizing the different types of pain when it comes to this. So Todd, you're suggesting you're not going to go for a marathon run. You're not going to do anything stupid with your knee. How much pain are you experiencing in your knee, 0 to 10?
Today I would say I just went for a walk before this this course, and just even walking on a paved street, I still felt some tenderness. So I'd probably say about a 5.
About a 5. So if you stand up now, how many steps do you need to take in order to feel the pain of 5?
I don't know. Might as well try it.
Yeah, just go for a walk around a bit, and maybe even do a little bit of a squat if that's not too uncomfortable. Todd's left now. He's left the party. There he is.
A squat, you said?
Yeah, so try doing a squat and just notice the pain, because you want to find out what your range of movement is and how's the pain there.
Oh yeah, this feels like I'm at the gym with my personal trainer.
Right.
I mean, the pain is mild.
Right.
At this moment, just on this flat
Okay.
a surface with these supportive shoes. I don't know if you want me to like induce it, jump up and down a couple times, but I certainly feel, for example, just like the kneecap just like clicking and popping.
All right. Well, let's work
There's
on
a
that.
technical medical term for that.
So go ahead and point to where the kneecap is clicking, and point to where the pain is. Just point to there and imagine a color attached. What color is it, Todd? First impression.
Red.
It's red. Grab it out. Grab out that red energy, just the same as you've seen in the past demonstrations. Grab out that red energy and hold it like a ball in front of you. Now, make sure you get all of it. So use your mind, use your imagination. Remember those 3 prerequisites: play, pretend, full absorption, and the last one, have fun. So Todd, put a smile on your face, because we're going to create some change here today. So get excited about it. Get happy about it. It's fun. Imagine like a game. It's like a game to see how much energy you can get out. See how much of this red energy you can pull out of your knee. So it's almost like you're childlike, playing pretend, like children do. And when you're ready, let me know that you've got all that energy, and we'll go to the next part. So yeah, I have learned to be careful when I help people to get rid of pain, making sure they don't go and overdo it. I don't want them to go and aggravate it and make things worse, especially if it's a structural or other problem, because it may not fix all that, but it may. Like I'm open to miracles all the time. As you know, I in my line of work, I see miracles every day. It's just a daily occurrence for me. It's part of my life. And so it's quite amazing to see people heal, people change. In fact, I've had people saying, I can't do the session today because I'm sick. So I'll ring them up, we'll get rid of the sickness, and then we'll do the session. So I've actually done that before, where a woman, she had a blocked nose. You wouldn't believe this. She had a blocked nose. We did this technique, and her nose, she started breathing immediately. Like, it was just incredible. Like, it was instantaneous that her nose was unblocked. Incredible. So I've had that happen, where somebody's saying I'm unwell, I can't do the session. I ring them up, get rid of the pain, get rid of all that, and then we go ahead and do our coaching session. Love it. So much fun.
Oh,
All right,
that's
so
what I should
Todd's,
have requested from you today.
what's
I've been
that?
sick I've been congested for a week and a half.
Yeah. So that would have been useful.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to realize that, yeah, that the mind controls all of it. The mind controls everything that's going on in your body, in your system. And all we're doing is we're giving the unconscious mind a message where we're working with it, because your mind can heal your body. So we've got the 3 brains: neocortex, limbic system, reptilian complex. Now, all of our emotional struggles and challenges operate at the middle brain. So the limbic system, that's the home of your emotions. And so in order to correct those emotional issues, we go back one level to the reptilian complex. Once we solve things in the nervous system, then the emotions can right themselves, which means that we can let go of conditions. We can let go of illnesses. And there's, if anybody's heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza, you want to have a look at his work and his research. He's an incredible man. And Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that that we can imprint upon our minds a new signal, a new message, a new identity, and that can rework us. He said that he's interviewed many people that had a spontaneous remission of health conditions, and they did it because they believed that their body had the power to heal them. They believed that the unconscious mind, if they could get it working with them and for them, had the power to heal them. They also believed in a higher power and all that type of jazz. But incredible stuff, incredible research. And that's all part of my health seminar coming up. I'll be talking about the 4 coincidences as to why people were healed. There's 4 coincidences that people shared. And we're talking not just getting rid of pain today, we're talking about long-term health conditions. So this is real, it actually works. All right, Todd's still going. He's fully
I was going to say, I
absorbing
feel
this.
pretty scrubbed. I feel like I've pulled and scrubbed and flossed.
Nice. So you've got it there. It's almost like you're doing an operation on it, because that's in essence what they do when they actually work with the kneecap. They'll actually clean around the kneecap, and they'll,
Yes.
there's a whole big surgery involved in that. So you're doing that in your mind. That's great.
Without the drugs, though.
Yeah, without the drugs. So how'd you go? Did you get it all? Todd, did you get it all?
I believe so.
Okay, just have one more check. Or try this. Imagine now.
Yeah.
Do you watch Star Wars? Have you seen Star Wars?
Oh, sure.
Okay, just imagine now you have the Force and that red energy in your knee. You can use the Force to extract it. I'm going to click my fingers and imagine you're a Jedi and you're just going to pull all the red energy into your hands. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Just like that. Whoosh.
Mm.
Did you get it all?
Let's do it one more time.
Okay, you ready? So you've got the Force. You're a Jedi. You ready? 3, 2, 1. And whoosh.
Yeah, I feel clear about that.
Okay,
I
good.
could visualize it that time.
Good. Now look at your hands, that ball of energy. Is it still red or did it change color?
Still reddish, maybe some yellow as well.
No worries, that's perfect. So notice now that that ready yellow energy is moving in a direction. Which way is it moving?
Clockwise.
Okay, so we're going to take it, because you want to reverse it, let's move it anti-clockwise, move it in the reverse direction. So grab it and double the speed, double the spin, double the amplitude, double the magnitude, double the force, double it now, Todd, so it's going so fast that it begins to take on a life of its own. And it's impossible for it to go back the way it was. And when you know you've got it, grab that energy and shove it back into your knee where it came from with a whoosh. And just allow that new message, that new signal to integrate into every part of your body. Imagine every cell now responding. Every cell, not just around your knee, but throughout your entire body, responding to this new message, this new signal, direct from your unconscious mind, flooding your system. And just put a big smile on your face and allow that integration to take place. And when you're ready, let us know what's going on.
It's interesting. I'm a meditator, and so usually I do breath-based meditations, and sometimes I'll notice some sensations within my body during the process or afterwards. Yeah, I felt a little tinge like in the third eye after doing that, like
Nice.
reintegrating that ball of energy back into my body and then feeling it just wash over me from head to toes.
Todd, jump up and do a few squats now. Notice what's different.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. The interesting thing was jumping up. I felt creakier in my left knee than my right this time.
Wow. Wow. So there you go. So wonderful. Good work, Todd. Thanks for being such a good volunteer, and thanks for that.
Welcome back, and I hope you learned something great, something you're going to take out to improve the quality of your life. Now, this has been Joshua Roy. I'm your happiness and fulfillment coach. I'm a results coach helping you to take more control of your mind, your thoughts, your actions, your behaviors, and your life. If you haven't already, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe so that you can get all of the new exciting content that is delivered through this and other platforms.